we persevere with our training and coaching cycle. I would like to explain to you at this moment what our second element of our Funeral Advantage program is all about, which is the family support service, right? According to the information provided in the brochure, it is mentioned in this brochure that there is a service available for a personal funeral advisor. This is very important because Lincoln Heritage works hand in hand with an organization called Funeral Consumer Guards and Society, the Guardians of Funeral Consumption. And it is really them who provide this support that is so important to the family in such a painful moment as the departure of a loved one. In this sense, we can work with this 9-point brochure that every individual should be aware of regarding funeral planning. I recommend, dear agent, that you peruse all the information provided here, as it is highly interesting and incredibly potent. Really, from this brochure, we are going to emphasize the introduction, correct? Where it discusses the mission that Funeral Consumer Garden has to assist the family. In addition, we also emphasize what is point number 1, all right? This information is derived from this book, okay? Apologies, this brochure states that the Funeral Law of 1984 was implemented in order to provide protection for you. It's vital for us to know there's a law and that this law grants rights to all people. We also highlight point number 4, right, of this brochure, right, which says that choosing the right funeral home can make the difference between paying $2,000 or $10,000 for the same funeral service. Here it shows us different items and different low prices and high prices for each of the items. Why are we showing this to the client? Because let's remember that Funeral Consumer Garden Society is the entity, the organization that will search for 3 funeral homes and 3 cemeteries in the area where the client lived to help them get the best price and the best service. So when we highlight this information, it is for the client to know and understand that each funeral home and each cemetery are private companies. They are independent companies that have different owners. And of course, they have different price lists. Based on this information, we will ensure clarity for her. Another point worth noting in this loop is point number 3, which is particularly interesting, okay? What if I told you that without a funeral plan, your loved ones could end up spending hundreds or thousands of dollars more, okay? We emphasize those points. They are significant and fascinating, and also in the material we possess in our binder, all right? We are going to demonstrate to our client that when he has a plan with us included in his benefits package, that he will not only receive the plan, but he will also receive some final wish sheets that need to be filled out. Currently, we know we can fill them right away once we submit the application to our client. But in any case, he'll receive this final wishes sheet where he can write everything he wants. If you want a traditional service, if you want a cremation, if you want what type of cremation, with wake, without wake, if you want a traditional service, with wake, with open casket, with closed casket. You can also make the decision about the flowers, the music. If you want someone to give some words in your service, really in these sheets, our client will have control to plan their funeral service, and that is important. And you will also receive this additional sheet that contains the membership cards. We simply take these cards out and put them in the customer's hand and say, "Sir, you will receive 2 cards that are exactly the same as these ones, where your name will be, a membership number." And this phone line is very important because this phone line operates 24 hours a day, 365 days a week. When that moment arrives, any member of your family has the ability to make this phone call and inform about the death. In a swift manner, they will promptly go to search for the final wish list or the information that we as agents have already provided assistance to our clients in accomplishing digitally. That is already saved in the Funeral Consumer Guideline files. They will quickly go to search for that information and will start working for the family, looking. I come back and say 3 funeral homes and 3 cemeteries to help them get the best price and the best service. Is this element important? Why? Outside, there are numerous life insurance companies. There are countless life insurance products, but not a single life insurance company assists the family in the client's funeral planning. Lincoln Heritage, together with Funeral Consumer Guidance Society, is the sole corporation that guides the family through the entire funeral planning process. And trust me, that is an incredibly powerful thing. Why? Because when that moment actually arrives, it is incredibly tough and extremely difficult to make all the necessary arrangements for a funeral service. Why? Because the widow, the widower, the children, the parents, the siblings are in such a terrible shock, such a terrible pain, that the rational part really becomes blocked. Why? Because the pain does not allow them to analyze anything. Because when the time comes, they will go to the first funeral home that comes in front of them, and whatever the funeral director says the family has to pay, they will simply say yes. They will be taken to some rooms, some showrooms, to show them some very beautiful but very expensive coffins. And what does the family member say at that moment? This is the last time I'm going to see my loved one. And whatever needs to be spent, I'm going to spend it. Because it's the last time I'm going to see him. So when the family has a consultation with this organization, believe me, they will get the best price and the best service. Therefore, it is crucial to ensure that my client comprehends the significance of obtaining life insurance from our company in order to safeguard himself, his family, and their well-being during challenging and arduous circumstances. Once we present at the Funeral Consumer Guidance Society, we simply ask the client, let's see, Mr. Client, do you have any doubts or questions for me? And he is going to tell me the doubt or question I have, right? Or suddenly you're going to tell me, no, miss, everything is fine. I really don't have any questions for you. But there I'm going to tell you, let's see, Mr. Client, do you believe that in a service like this, where your family will be protected, will be taken care of, they will guide you, they will look for 3 funeral options, they will look for 3 cemetery options? Do you believe that this can assist you and your family when that moment arrives? And we remain quiet, we pause and wait for the comment that comes from that place to this place. And trust me, the comments are definitely going to be of approval, of yes, they are undoubtedly going to be helpful. Of course it's good, of course it's going to help me, of course it's going to give me support. Always, always I am getting that approval from the client that will lead me to the big yes in the closing. Thank you very much.